Hi, welcome to the Flower Species channel. Happy Sunday fun day. My prayers have been with Texas, and I hope everyone, I stayed up last night looking at the news, watching, and then praying over and over again. I had to finally turn CNN off and turn some music on, and I had to turn off the Weather Channel and turn off Fox and everything else, and just pray for everyone in the path of Harvey. You know, a lot of people on Facebook, I'm really hoping we hear from you, James, Linda, so many of you. Oh, gosh, Donna, Marcus, Christine, all our poetry family and writer family. When you get to power and safety, let us know that you're safe, and let us know. We're keeping prayers going for you around the clock, and I really do believe that they got this. You know, I had to turn off CNN because they kept showing the same family stranded, and I know the water's over your houses. It's horrible, but it seems like FEMA has got this. They got a good plan for you all, and so I'm not gonna allow myself to get too, you know, negative about anything right now. And y'all need hope and to move forward, and just. I saw that one family was talking about they wanted to stay in their house until they could get all their valuables high up and then get out. By the time they got downstairs to get out, they couldn't get up, and they ended up swimming through their house, and really bad. So I know that people want to, God, I can't imagine it, but I know that I've been in a little flood in my life, a little flood where I lost a bunch of stuff, and I can't imagine water rushing in. I love rain. I love purple rain. You guys know it. But we've had flash floods here, and we've had some really wacky, horrible rain with hail in upper western New York that's come out of nowhere. And even with really bad winds. In fact, we ended up with our Governor Cuomo coming to Rochester and kind of slapping some hands and saying, hey, what happened here? Because there should have been better emergency preparedness in April when we had big windstorms, took trees down, power outages. People were stuck with no power forever with trees in the middle of their houses and everything, and it was just horrible for so many people. My aunt sat in the middle of her living room, no heat, and a tree cutting through everything. I mean, I was just mortified, and there wasn't really emergency preparedness in our county, and our governor came here and really was like, shame on you, all of you, and I made a plan, and it seems like Texas really had a plan, and that's what's important. So I pray you're all doing well. Just, you know, you can replace things. You really can. Just kick into survival mode when you gotta go. And go do what you gotta do. Alright. So I said I would make a tutorial on the Victorian flower. And this is my end result after I blocked it. I did the intro video of me blocking it. This is it completed, blocked, and it's 16 inches. It's using 5 different colors. You can go to freepatterns.com. It will lead you to Annie's Craft on Course, free crafting on course, and you'll see Victorian Flower. The design is by Jeannie Winkleman, and it calls for a 1.90. Make sure I got that right. 1.90 steel hook 5 different colors of cotton, mercurized, any cotton. Because it's Victorian, they suggest the colors be violet and purple and green and white. You can do whatever. I used a 2.0 hook to get my gauge, and I did an extra edging on this. So I used mint green, I used white, I used misty blue, which really is coming off looking like a lavender. I used pink quartz, and I used peach in the middle. I said I would do a tutorial. I did. And the pattern, when you get done with the pattern, there will be 12 points. Like these are points. 1, 2, 3. That's a kind of wonky looking point, but it's right here. 4, 5, 6. If you go around, you'll have 12 flowers. So everywhere you have a flower, you'll have 12. Okay? But when I do the video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to adjust, and I'll show you this in 2 different patterns real quick. I used a 4 medium worsted weight yarn and a 4.5, or no, I used a 4.5 G hook, and I did a tutorial, but I did not know how to get my camera to do this on my hands, crocheting. I still can't get them in there. Okay, so I didn't know how to get my camera to do this and stay, right? So, Becky, you lovely. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Okay. Yeah, I really am. So I did the whole tutorial, a 6-hour tutorial, a doily that usually would take you 2 or 3 days to do. I started in this position with the camera over here, and I lifted up my yarn, and as I went along, I showed you each stitch. Because there's a lot of complex fastening off and joining in and weaving in, so then I went to put my arms down, and it felt okay at first. Then when I woke up the next day, I was like, first of all, I got 5 videos. Came to 5 videos. So I need to learn how to cut, splice, and speed up to get that all into one video. But I went to put my arms down. The only thing I could do was knit again. I was like, I can't lift my arms. I can't. Oh, I went to get my coffee the next morning and go into my cupboard and get my coffee cup, and I was like, okay, God does want me to have coffee. Okay. Oh, I can't move my arm. I couldn't move my shoulders. I was like, what makes it feel better all day? I was like, oh, I would go to bend down and pick something. I was like, oh, what makes it feel better? Huh. Oddly, I put my hands up like this and start going, oh, that feels good. If I just keep knitting, it'll be okay. If I just keep crocheting, right? That is, my friends, knitting tennis elbow or crochet elbow or cashiering, computering too much. You get into one position too long. And then the only way you can move your arms is to keep doing that same thing. Oh my God. I had it over Christmas because I was doing a lot of knitting and crocheting really quick and round the clock. And I had it one time during Nano Month, which is a NaNoWriMo, National Writing Month of November, where I was trying to write my book really quick. Get so many words in a minute. I'm going to give some tips at the end of the video. Don't do like I did and get hurt, because holidays coming up. Crafters gotta craft. Alright, so I did the tutorial using 4 medium worsted weight yarn and 4.5 G hook. And I instead of doing 12 points, I did 10 because I couldn't hold it up in the camera anymore. Okay, so what I used was, I'll put it here so you can see. I'm trying to get it so you can see the top. Okay, so I used boysenberry, teal, white. Then I used mustard yellow, sweet pea lavender, boysenberry, and green teal. So again, you can do anything, like I said in the intro video with the Victorian flower. You can use any yarn, any color, any size hook. You can do a lot of things with these. If you wanted to make a circular jacket, like, you know, you see all those cool, like especially in the autumn, you see women wearing the cardigans that are like they come down and curve around. They have a little curve in them, a little flare. It's just that easy. You turn this down into a collar, and I wouldn't use this pattern though. I might use a lotus flower or a fractal or something else, because I don't like these kind of points. But you would do this, flare this out, you would tack this down, and you would just keep going and making it bigger and bigger, a circle. And they're called circular jackets. And then you would tack that in a little bit so that the collar doesn't fly back up on you. And you would create armholes in here. You would chain armholes in here. You could even put a little sleeve on it and keep going down. You could just play with it and have fun. These make really good autumn jackets if you have the right thing on the back. Browns and golds and greens, real autumn colors. You could do some real fractal cool stuff. Lotus flowers, sunflowers, whatever. And that's your fall cardigan, you know. Just throw over your shoulder and it curves around you, and very easy. Just from a simple doily. You can also use these in any color to stretch on a macrame hoop, like a steel macrame hoop, and you've got wall art. You can make what are they called? You could put these in your yarn. You can put these in your yard. Excuse me. And with the right kind of yarn, like you could use a t-shirt yarn or a bamboo yarn or even plarn, different colors, and make a wind wheel. There's so many things you can do. You could do a dream catcher with a wood hoop or a metal one or a painted one. Just go to your craft store and get some hoops. And if you have really big hoop earrings, seriously, if you have a couple of big hoop necklaces, you can really play with your hoop earrings and fill them in, and with cotton yarn make them really, really pretty. So just some ideas of things you could do. You can also make pillow covers with these. Tablecloths, just keep going. And I think I told you in the first video how to keep going is you would keep going from your point where your first points came in here. You would end here, put your flowers in, and then do another round of points, and then another round of flowers, another round of points, another round of flowers. Just keep going like that all the way down. Okay, so that's how you increase it, and then you increase your size too. If you wanted to make it smaller, you just go smaller. So if I was going to do an earring hoop and I wanted to see that whole pattern, I would be using like a 01 or possibly a tatting needle. You can make really cool Christmas ornaments for trees. You know, Christmas doesn't have to be the traditional angel, Santa Claus, gingerbread houses and everything. I remember my aunt sending beautiful sand art from Florida, and she made beautiful sand dollar stars that she dipped in glitter and everything, and those were always on our tree. So you can, or around our house, if you don't believe in putting a tree up. A lot of people believe trees are very pagan. My mom always put a tree up. We had a silver tree our whole life, and one of those 60s trees had a color wheel that went around it and made it flare up in the room and lights everywhere. But my stepmom and my dad, who I grew up with my mom and dad, and then my mom and my grandma, and then my dad and my stepmom. And my aunt was very much part of my life, and I've kind of incorporated all of their little styles and things that they did. Now, my dad and my stepmom were Jehovah's Witnesses studying at the time, and they didn't believe in, they could celebrate, they could put all kinds of decoration up, but they couldn't put nativity scenes up, and they couldn't put anything that was like an idol of Jesus or Mary or any of those kind of things, or like a nativity scene. They couldn't put a tree up because tree was definitely pagan. But they could light their house. They had lights. They had gingerbread houses. They had little angels and elves and things all over their mantles, and it was very Christmassy always in their home. But there was certain things they couldn't do. So I do remember doing macrame with my stepmom, and we were making what looked like stained glass over macrame that became like ornaments that we just hung around the house. So I mean, you can get really out of the box, non-traditional with it. Yeah, just think of what you can use something for. A toilet seat cover. Yeah, I know. No, I keep going with what you can do with these things, but it's incredible once you get thinking about it. Years ago, in the 50s, 60s, everyone had those crocheted toilet seat covers and the little toilet roll cover with the little poodle or doll crocheted on it. These make great toilet seat covers too, and little bath mats and things. Just pick the right kind of yarn and follow a pattern that you like. Okay, so that's done, but I have to figure out how to splice and dice 5 videos or speed them up or make the whole thing over again on my hand. This is the next one I'm working on, and I'm going to put up a tutorial for that. This is called Floral Fling. It's in Crochet World. Right here. Crochet World. August 2017. It's designed by Hazel Henry. And it's a 9-inch diameter doily. And they're using a medium orange for a harvest table. You could customize this to a poinsettia for Christmas. You could do a fractal, like hippy-dippy kind of thing. You could do muted colors for bohemian. You could do Easter pastels. So you can make it your own. If you have a favorite football team, I don't know, whatever. So you can make it, right? Work. 17 rows. On a level of 1 to 6, it's a 3 easy. And I'll be the first to tell you, I've done a lot of complex, very complex lace work. And this one, you really got to pay attention to the switches in the pattern, because you're doing a lot of chaining, and you're not only chaining and working in the chain spaces, but when you don't expect it, it will tell you to work in the chain spaces. So I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Oh, okay. So here's what I got so far. I decided right away I don't want a 9-inch one. I want a 16-inch. I'm using rose quartz, red heart. I got this at Walmart for $5.99. That's important because I'm going to show you something in a minute. 300 yards. Red heart. Okay. Mine is at 14 inches right now. Well, 13 and a half. And I am on row 16. So I only have one more row to go. Now if you notice, I threw it down. Hang on. Oh! There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 petals here. Okay. I wanted 7 petals. I really wanted 8, but I thought it might be too much. I wish I'd done 8. But in order, you can adjust this pattern to have more repeats and more petals just by adding on stitches. So it calls for you to start with chaining 8 stitches. I chained 12 stitches. And then in the pattern, you know how where it talks in a pattern of there's a setup to the repeat, and the repeat will begin with 1 single asterisk and you'll end with 2 double asterisks, and then it will say end doing this. You're beginning doing the setup, you're doing the repeat throughout, and then end doing this, and then slip stitch join or whatever, and you're on the next round, right? Okay. What I did was I ignored those asterisks, and I just kept doing what it said to do in the beginning and in the end all the way around, which really made it bigger and lacier through here, and more petals. And then on the other rounds that said excuse me, that said like some rounds just said like double crochet in the 3rd stitch, chain whatever, and double crochet in the 4th stitch, and slip stitch in the next stitch, and repeat all the way around. Well, then I just repeated all the way around. But in the ones that had an asterisk or brackets that said do this so many times, I kept doing that all the way around to get more flower. So flower species makes sense, right? So I wanted it to really fill the doily, so I changed it. But I do the tutorial. I've done the first part, and this is up to row 7, and I'm up to 12 inches here with a 4 medium worsted weight yarn, and I used my glasses an F5 3.75 millimeter hook. So I really am making it with 7 petals, and it doesn't pucker. That's just because I had it folded. It doesn't pucker. It's fine. And I just think it fills it out better for me. That's just my thing. But in my tutorial, just like this one, you'll be able to see the stitches better on a bigger yarn and a bigger needle. And what I mean by you're going to be working into, you're going to be working into the chain spaces sometimes. So see how that one, you're going around the chain space? Okay. Over here, you're going into the chain of a chain. And that's kind of what I mean, is you got to watch out for those. That is what I mean. You got to watch out for those chain space ones that you're working. So there's a lot of that kind of chaining going on. This one is already to 12 inches, a little more than 12 inches really. So at 7 rounds, and I've got 10 more rounds to go. Hopefully I'll get those done in part 2 and upload them all at once. You'll be able to know how to do this with any kind of yarn. And I would say the only hard part is remembering where you're beginning, because once you start chaining, it can look all going fractal, like geometrical. It can be hard to know where that first stitch was. So I would say a stitch marker, scissors, your yarn, and your hook is what you need. And to download the pattern electronically or Crochet World, because I cannot reprint the pattern. I can only give you the link to where you can go to get Crochet World electronically, the pattern. I'm going to check with Ravelry, though, because I know a lot of people have redone patterns that are in Crochet World. They've done tutorials, and some of them have actually just changed the name of the doily, which I think it's still kind of wrong. I don't know. I'll check, see. I've already written to give permission to do that. What I'll be doing is the beginning of it, and that's part of it. Unless you actually have gone and gotten the pattern, because people, that's how it goes, you know. Gotta represent and support people out here. Okay, so that will be up soon. And now my blessing of the day. I had no purple in my stash left, which is really like waking up and having no coffee. No, really. It was bad. No purple in my stash. And I did a pay it forward Christmas in July thing with friends on Facebook where it's going around. It's probably gone by now if you didn't get it in July. But somebody hit me up, a friend of mine, several people did, and said the Christmas time can be so stressful. People feel the urge to have to give or whatever. If there's somebody that wants to share something special with somebody, under $5, it's got to be handmade or from your heart, just from your heart. It could be a poem that you write, put on their page. It could be a picture that you've drawn in sketch or paint or something, just share with them. It could be something that you digitally, graphically designed, you know, in Adobe or whatever editing thing you're using. It could be something you designed. There's so many apps out there you can play with it. You could design something really cute for somebody and personalize it. That could be their gift, and they can download it and put it on their wall, you know. So any little freebie from your heart that is personalized for them, make. So I said, I'll do that. And then you share the post, and everybody picks 5 people to do that with back in July. Well, I got the post got to me around the end of July, and my friend Karen Ruth Sophia out there, we've known each other since MySpace days, since she was the first person I did a real collab with, and it was so silly. I didn't even know how to collaborate back and forth on the computer, and we were in Flex Writers, and she would show up on Mondays to do her poetry and writing, and Marsha was our Manic Monday poetry challenge person, and I love you, Marsha. And the picture she gave us to work with as inspiration was it had to do with celestial, which Marsha's very much celestial, and the elements of the earth and the sky and the universe, and mysteries. And one picture was of a new star that was discovered in the sky. And we had a bunch of pictures we could choose from, and we picked the new star in the sky. And Karen sent me the first few lines, and I went off into what I saw. And it became a clown planet in the sky, because that's what it looked like to me. And we just riffed off each other forever and came up with a really cool planet, the planet of the clown. The mystery star. It was great. And a little scary too. But it was my first collab, and we had fun together, and we've just been besties ever since. And she made me this beautiful necklace. She said, oh, I have a perfect purple gem I'm working on for you, and it's a macrame. I want to show you up close. It's got a Coachella shell, which in Mexican and some cultures it signifies friendship, but also renewal of life and death, and baptismal spiritual life renewal. She knew I'm a lover of purple. She got the star in there. Let me get this to go right. Okay, she got the stars in there, little stars. Purple. And it's 2-tier. And she put a little fairy on there. She knows I'm a fairy lover, an angel lover, that I believe in joyous, happy little surprises. My other necklace is on with it. It keeps kind of jumping up there. But the blue little beads here, and then there's red beads too in it. And around the side, it's really, really pretty. Let's see where she put it. Yeah, it's here. She just personalized it to me. There's a little Grace cross right there. So thank you, Karen. It really is gorgeous. It's 2-tier macrame, and there it is. And I was so happy to get that. And this is my Angel of Reconciliation, which my dear friend Deb gave me before she passed away. And it's a miraculous little piece of jewelry that if you have people you're estranged from, you want to reconcile with, she gave it to me along with her earrings. And she passed away in 2012, but she's always with me. And I never will stop wearing it. Estrella, you can find them out at Allura if they're still there. Etsy, is it? They made me a beautiful glass bead necklace that I still can wear, but the hook fell off of it, so I gotta kind of like, I can't wear everything at once because I have these little swellings going on here. I wanted to share a cool thing about Amazon. I don't like to use charge cards. I do use a QVC card. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I do that value pay thing and 6 easy payments. Yeah. Sometimes that's the only way I can get stuff because I can't always get to a store. I was out of purple, and when Karen sent me this, I was like, oh, I have some purple. I know I have purple, but I didn't. So I was going, oh, I went on the bus to Walmart. All of these, $5.99. I went to Michael's, no purple. I went to Joann's, back and forth on the bus, back and forth. Nothing. I called at one Walmart. They said they had purple. I said, can you keep it? I'll come pick it up. It wasn't at the pickup. It was gone. Purple is selling out, boy. It's a Prince thing. And so I went to Amazon, and they had one in stock. One. Aunt Lydia's 10 Classic coats. 350 yards. It was $3.55. Remember, $5.99, $4.99 everywhere. $3.55 on Amazon. Perfectly fine. One in stock. And I went to go use my gift card, which I always have a $20 gift card that I buy myself, that I reload for Amazon. And I was like, oh shoot, I was down to 0. Well, I clicked it, I hit share, and I posted it on Facebook, so I remember to go back and look, and when I get my money to go get it, and where it was. And within like 20 minutes, I got a letter from Amazon from a Facebook share. They really do see you. They follow you. They watch what you're doing. They track it. That said, we see you tried to order, but you didn't have enough in your left on your gift card. How'd they find me? I was thinking that for a while, but then I was like, okay. And it said, your package has been sent to you. How'd that happen? Your reward points have been used. when you use your gift card, and I thought this was just for charge cards, that they just had a reward charge card, but when you use like a gift card, and then you reload it, after you've used it up and reloaded it a couple of times, you're gaining points. So this came to $3.55. The shipping and handling came to $2 something. And I had $5 and I think it was 95 cents on my points. So I got this for $0.00. Free. So thank you, God. Thank you. Bonus points. And I will go reload my card when I get money. So even if you have to do a $20 reloadable card, or even if you have to go buy a new gift card every month, that's what I do, because I don't want to get the charge card debt up, because I see how quick that went up with QVC. That's just absolutely insane. And I do use QVC, Evine, those home shopping kind of things for emergencies, because I don't have a car and I can't get shopping and I can't get to what I need. And I don't always have the cash all at once to get something in an emergency that I need. Like if all my pots and pans are suddenly gone and I need to get something, or a coffee machine breaks, I really don't have the budget to go even to Big Lots and spend $20 on or the Family General Dollar and spend $25 on a coffee pot all at once, or a frying pan, or a, that's a little emergency fund thing. So having that card really helped, but it creeps up on you. So I've decided to just go with like 20 here, 20 there, Amazon cards, and just get what I need. Because most everything I can find at Walmart usually, but the Walmart I can get to and get back home in the same day. It's close to me, doesn't have a good stock. So I usually have to wait till I'm with a friend to go to either Joann's or somewhere around. So got the purple, and now I can make what I want to make for people that I wanted to make stuff for. And I had you, Karen, in mind for the purple, but I don't know what I'm making yet, so you're not gonna get this till September. You're gonna get something purple. It's gonna be something really simple. It's not gonna be crazy. Okay, I want to show you also the April edition of Crochet World. Because as you know, I love Prince, and I believe in my whole heart this issue was devoted to Prince. Go back and look at it. Everything in it is purple. Isn't that gorgeous? It's called the Azalea Lace Wrap. It's made with motifs that you just put together. Yeah. I don't have enough. Yeah. But I could play with that pattern with that. But what I thought was really cool is their doily that was featured for April. It's called the Triple Crown Doily. And it's in purple. And if you look at it from here, you'll see they're all triple crowns. See? And it's a 15-inch. And I know when I get done making this, it'll be like 20 inches. Yeah, that's going on my table. That's for me. That's for me. I make something for me. And I have a bunch of other purple things I'm making. But I wanted to show that to you because I'm going to do a tutorial. And I probably will use this to do it. And the remainder of this, I'll probably make something for Karen. I already know what I'm going to make. So I've got some tutorials coming up, and that's all I really had to say. Is that, and if you have to sit, crochet, you can't stand or whatever, yeah, invest in something like this. When my son gifted me with some money, this is what I got. Yep, this. I got some crochet hooks, some knitting needles. This was a few years back. I went and got a whole bunch of crochet needles, knitting needles, some yarn to start with, because it's, you know, you want to get your work out there and shown so that you can start your little business. I don't think I'm going to go with Etsy. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to talk to a young lady I know that does branding, and she really might be able to get my vibe and help me make a logo, or at least a name that isn't already taken. But it really is hard to list at Etsy for me to begin. So I might be using a network called Mighty Networks, where you can hook up with other people that are knitting and crocheting and people that like handmade products, and just personalize your own website for free. And you can upload your photos there and then just have a link where people can go to for a PayPal, or you could work it on a donate only if you wanted to. Like, I would feel really wrong charging money for prayer shawls, and I do those every year for hospices, and I would feel really, really wrong for charging for preemie babies unit and neonatal NICU. Those I just make with groups, and they go to the hospitals, the lap cans for nursing homes, dialysis places, veterans places. I would just feel wrong. So I will probably not be doing those as a charge. I would do like more houseware, fun stuff, and things like hats, scarves. I might not do men's hats because I suck at making men's hats, obviously. I'll tell you why I know this. Now, for 20 years I've been making chemo caps for men all over the place. But I tried to make some hats for the men in my family. But I wanted them to be stylish. I didn't want them to just be a cap. So I tried to get a little style in. And I ended up with hats that didn't fit anyone. It was really bad. For Christmas. So I might not do men's hats. Because I didn't want to just do caps anymore. I wanted to do shapes and designs, and it didn't work for me. But with women's hats, I'm really good. So that, I know, round head, same a head as a head. Babies' hats, men's hats, fine. But, I mean, babies' hats, women's hats, great. But men's hats, I think I tried too hard with the men in my family. I think, or they just have weird shaped hats. I don't know. Or I just suck at making them hats. Or maybe it was just their energy and my energy didn't vibe. I don't know. Because all that's important. And I'm going to do a video about that too. When you're handcrafting for people, and I talked about this when I got Sharon's necklace, some people you cannot craft for because it's all energy. And if there's bad energy between you guys, or confused energy, and you're trying to craft for that person, or if that person really is, it's funny because the one kid out of that family that could wear the hat is the one kid that I said, I've always said he's so easy, he's so chill, he's such a beautiful spirit, he's so calm, easygoing, no judgment, no. And his bit. So it could have been my energy of my own nervousness towards the other ones I was making for, because I know they're kind of a little bit picky. Not the one though. One was just too small. But I know darn well my cousin, who I made a hat for, is picayune. He's picayune. And my son had already told me, Mom, don't make me a hat. I won't wear a hat. If you touch his hair, he freaks out. He's like Fonzie. So I knew I knew ahead of time. I was like, oh my God. He said don't make a hat, but I made all the boys hats, so I made him a hat. But he said, I won't ever wear a hat. So why was I surprised when I made a hat that he was like... So you need to know when you're crafting the energy, what's going on between you guys, and what their vibe is, and all that. So I really think about that stuff now. I'm like, there are some people, if a pattern isn't working out, sometimes I think, do I want to give this to this person, or do they really want it? Do they want to receive it? And I don't want to spiritualize and Christianize and energize everything, but I do want to pay attention to. You got to pay attention to what you know and your knower. And there will be challenges in patterns, but for those of you that do handcraft for people, if you can speak to what I'm speaking to, that there are some people you cannot craft for. It just is impossible. You, as much as you want to make something for them, something that normally you could do very simple becomes, everything goes wrong. Your yarn gets twisted. You miss a whole row. You go to tear it out to start over and everything gets stuck. Now you have to cut your yarn. I mean, just crazy stuff happens. What is that? So I'm going to explore all that on this channel while I'm sharing stuff. But I think, I don't know, I'm between Etsy and Mighty Works, but there's going to be a lot of purple stuff out there, I'll tell you. I'm using a lot of Prince inspiration for Prince-inspired things that I want to make. So I thought I would make the video because it's been a long time since I made a video, and I said I would do the Triple Crown. So I will upload it if I can, the 5 videos, which I don't think anybody wants to go part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. I mean, if I saw 5 videos for something, I'd say, I'll pass. So I may have to just do it over. But I'm not to that place, shoulder and neck and wrist, where I can do that yet. A couple days. But I will come back and finish the Floral Fling Doily in pink, and I'll do part 2 of it in the green. So, if you want to do that, you can do that. Okay, have an awesome Sunday fun day. And for everybody in Texas, please stay safe. Take help where you can, and help each other. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.